close more deals and make more money. So in today's sales training, I actually want to cover the highly recommend you watch this if you're a cleaning business owner struggling with sales. I'm going to cover a very specific objection that I've gotten and I've been able to actually handle and actually turn into sales, and some objections that our clients have actually faced that's gotten help from me, and that's allowed them to actually close a lot of deals themselves. So today's objection that we're covering in today's micro sales training, very detailed objection, price objection. Okay, we've all had it before where a client tells us that,
hey, you're too much money, I cannot afford you, somebody charged me less, thank you for your time, but you're just a little bit out of my budget. Listen, thank you for your time, but I'm gonna go with another company.
And then you find out this other company is cheaper than you. I faced it. I've actually recently closed a deal with the actual prospect telling me that they're a cheaper company than me, but because I told him this one thing and I handled the objection this specific way, he went ahead and hired my company to actually take care of his needs. So this objection comes when the prospect has someone else or something to compare you and your quote to. So let's just say there's 3 quotes that this prospect is getting, okay? 3 quotes, and yours is the highest, and then they have 2 people that are lower than you. Most of the time, if you go last or first, they're gonna be like,
hey, I had somebody lower, so thank you for your time. I'm actually gonna go with the lower company. It's gonna save me more money.
and this is how you're supposed to handle it. Mr. Prospect, I totally understand. Always understand with the prospect. Never, ever, ever, ever go like, why are you going with the cheaper one? Never get offended that they are potentially going with the cheaper one. What you wanna do is understand. Understand that because they don't have the proper information yet, it's because they don't have the proper information, reason behind why it's having them actually not going with you. But how you want to handle it is this. Hey, Mr. Prospect, I totally understand where you're coming from. So I've actually been in the industry for about 5 years now. State how long you've been in the industry to bring up your authority. Hey, Mr. Prospect, I totally understand where you're coming from. Been in the industry for about 5 years now. And typically, here are the reasons why companies that you've gotten quotes for are charging you less. Number one is we all get supplies and materials from the same places, and we get them for the same discounts, right? So in order for this company that charge you less to actually make money, they're most likely using material, or they're using supplies that are, not the best quality. It's a little bit on the cheaper side. And then number 2 is employees. The minimum wage around here is the same. And, for a company to make money by charging you less, they got to underpay their employees. So now you're going to have unhappy, underpaid employees coming into your home and trying to clean. And then number 3, time. For these companies to actually do the work and the time being and do it right, they have to charge you more, because if they're charging you less, there's only one way for them to actually make money, is if they actually rush the project and get out of there. If they rush to cleaning and get out of there. Because if they're charging you the price that they charge you, and the project needs about 3 to 4 days, which what we estimated for it to be done and done properly, they're going to get out of there within 1 to 2 days, so they can make that profit up or that money up by not being there for an extra day or 2 to pay their employees. And that's how they're charging you cheaper, Mr. Prospect. Does that make sense? And when I explain to somebody that, again, these 3 things, supplies, employee, time, they have to be saving money to be charging you less. They have to be saving money on supplies, getting underpaid workers. And they have to be saving money by not going in and actually doing the right work and spending the right time to do so. And that's the only way they can actually make a profit. If you understand these 3 things, when a person gives you this objection of,
hey man, listen, you're too much money, I'm actually gonna go with a cheaper company.
just let them know, hey, listen, is it okay if I explain to you how these companies can actually charge you less? Like, is it okay if I explain to you why they're charging you less? I've been in the industry for like 5 years now. Typically is these 3 reasons right here. And if they allow you to explain it to them, and you explained it to them the way I'm explaining it to you, then it's going to allow them to understand why you're charging the highest. And because you're charging the highest, giving them the best quality supply, perfectly paid employees that are happy, and you're spending the proper time to actually get it done and get it done right, then most likely they're going to go with you. And that's what happened with me recently with the prospect. He actually understood that I explained to him these 3 things. He didn't want an underpaid worker, cheap supplies, or people rushing through his project, his new home. So because of that, he went ahead and hired myself to explain to him that, hey, listen, we charge more because the supplies we're using is quality. The people we have working at your home are paid and paid well, we're going to spend as much time needed to get it done and done right. And so because of that, that's why we charge the price that we charge, and then leave it to the prospect after giving them this type of information to then make the decision. And the least you can do is actually give them the proper information to make the best decision. And that's typically what you should be doing to actually close the deal. It's not being pushy. It's not saying like, work with me today. It's not being like, why aren't you working with me? It's letting the prospect know that, hey, listen, I'm here to provide you all the information possible to make this transaction, to make this decision of yours as comfortable as possible, even though this decision is uncomfortable, and to make it as easy for you as possible. I do not want you to make a decision without knowing every single crack and detail. Did I do that, Mr. Prospect? Did I do a good job with explaining to you everything you need to know? Is there anything else that you do not know yet, or anything else I can help you with so you can make the best decision for your business? And if the answer is yes, then you did your job as the salesperson to give them every single information necessary to close the deal. And all you have to do now is ask for the sale. Ask for the sale. Don't just handle this objection and leave. After you handle it, hey, Mr. Prospect, does this make sense? Mr. Prospect goes,
yes, it does.
I'm like, hey, Mr. Prospect, when are you ready to get started? Hey, Mr. Prospect, have you heard enough from me to understand why they're charging cheaper?
Yes, I did, man. It makes sense.
Okay, Mr. Prospect, do you understand why we're charging the price that we're charging?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel like it's fair for what we're charging right now? And if the answer is yes, and I go, hey, Mr. Prospect, when are you looking to get started? How can we actually get started with you and actually get this project done right and done on time? Hopefully you guys enjoy this training here. More sales training to come. If you like this video, this is actually uploaded inside our Facebook group. Give me the like button below and comment an objection that you're dealing with within your business right now that you want myself to actually break down in another micro sales objection training video like this.